Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Thanks for coming. First, I would like to warn you that my English comes from video games, so you have to bear with my strong Brazilian accent for the next minutes. All right? So, what I'm bringing here today is a project we implemented from the last month at Banco do Brasil. It's a continuous purple team exercise driven by Intel data. With that, we were able to take that technical data from the pen testing from the purple team and bring it to the risk teams so that info can traverse all the security chain in Banco do Brasil. So, to start, I think you all know the answer to the question, but let me ask it anyway. Does the best tag guarantee safety? I would like to make a parallel with the automobile industry. We have, in the automobile industry, we have safety equipments, we have regulations. Like this is a spec sheet from a car. They have frontal airbag, belt protector, belt load limiter, something that I don't even know what it is, airbags, all that. And I'm sure many of you may be aware of the NCAP tests where they just throw the car against the wall, against the bar, they simulate accidents, and they test the results into the passengers, where the safety controls enough to guarantee the safety of the passengers from the pedestrians outside of the car. And many cars, I won't bring the name here. This one was a 0-star rating. Few cars get 0-star ratings. Even with all the security controls, the airbags, the seat belts, it wasn't enough to guarantee the security of the passengers. So, how do you make this into security? That's what our project was meant to. Based on these NCAP results, we were trying to constantly evaluate the security controls and update the security controls according to the results of the test. The goals were to be established on known frameworks in best practice, evaluate the security controls, simulate prioritized threats. So that's where the Intel information comes, because we don't have enough resources, so I think no one can test the entire malware attack matrix. So that's where the Intel team comes to prioritize which techniques are going to be simulated. And the results must go up out to the C levels. And how are you doing this? We divide it into two layers. The first layer is a technical one based on the malware attack framework, where you get our threat intel team, our red team, our brute team, with our defensive teams, our incident response team. And through this process, we have several inputs: the threat feeds, the intel feeds, the threats to the organization, forensic results made by the incident response team, all the experience for the red team. All these are translated in TTPs, these tactics, technicals, and procedures from the malware attack, into a constant and cyclic purple team exercise. Just why TTPs? Just I'll bring you here the concept of the pyramid of pain. Many of you might be aware of this. On the base, we have very trivial things like hash values. It's very trivial to detect hash values. And at the same time, it's very easy for the attacker to bypass that detection. And as we move up to the pyramids, it gets harder and harder to detect, but at the same time, we'll be hitting the attacker harder too. So that's why we focus on the top of the pyramid, the techniques done by the attacker, because the techniques will be harder for them to adapt. So, and this is one simulated campaign made by our threat team. That was one ransomware group that attacked one of our Brazilian banks, one of our peers of the industry. Here we don't have all the attack chain. It's just the techniques prioritized by the threat intel team And when we detail, for example, in account manipulation for persistence, we go red team and blue team together at the same screen. At the left, the red team details all what they're doing, the procedures, the command executors, they get all the details. And to the other side, I haven't put the details for the blue team to not bring our results here, but we are able to tell, was it the attack blocked? Was it detected? Was there any logging? Or no, we haven't seen it all. And for each technique, as we do this for every technique, we were able to make a heat map of our mirror attack defense capacity, where we can say where we are stronger, where we have to improve, and as we do more tests, this heat map comes closer to reality. Okay, this is the technical part. And how did you bring this to the strategic teams? That enters the layer 2. It was based on the NIST SP853, but it can be used, any framework can be used like this. Right now we are implementing the CSF v2 with some specific needs for the Brazilian regulation. But in this layer, the risk team is at the center. And to bring the technical information to the risk team, we use a microingenuity project called Controls to Attack. How this works? Based on one of the techniques that is simulated, like T1003, credential dump, there's a mapping saying this control will mitigate that technique. And we can also do a heat map of the controls. And here is where the red team, the blue team, the technical people have to go through the same room with the strategic teams to tell exactly what was done on the test. Because there are many mappings, and not every mapping will be related to the test that was made. And that's why we put our guys with the Metallica t-shirts, with the guys in tie, and they end up speaking the same language. Okay, with the risk team making this heat map, just like that heat map from the NCAP results. What's the impact of the test, of the technique that was tested in the organization? That team can come up with an action plan to mitigate what it needs to be mitigated, because maybe a control that wasn't performing, that was performing poorly, it's an accepted risk. So that action plan, when we made that, we were able to guide the acquisition team. So we were able to drive which tools must be bought, how they should work, our cyber program for the whole organization, and many policies were changed based on the action plan done by the risk team after the results of the technical layer, the red team, threat intel, and blue team. And at the end, as this action plan is implemented, all this goes back to the first layer, because it will be, as soon as the controls are being improved, the threat team, the threat intel team, will prioritize some other techniques that weren't tested before, because of how the maturity of the organization goes up. Okay, the time short. I could spend all day talking about every one of these boxes, but some results from last year. We simulated 7 APTs. This was with basically two red team analysts, 2 blue team analysts, and 2 threat intel. 6 people in total. We simulated 7 APTs, over 50 techniques, and over 60 malwares, evaluated 25 security controls, it identified some short-term actions, long-term actions too, improve our detection and mitigation capabilities, came up with better informed risk management, and what is most important for me, better integration between security teams. All right? I don't know how it's time. Fine. Okay, time is short. As I said, I could spend all day. I'll be available to talk if anyone wants to talk about it. They tell something else. Here are my contacts. So, thank you.
We have a little bit of time. Does anyone have any questions for Carlos?
We take the basically from our Intel feeds. We have several partners that feed us how the FTs are doing the attacks. We take this info and simulate inside outside the bank.
Anyone else? Carlos, obrigado. Please give a warm round of applause.